Minestrone invernale. Things are perking in my kitchen, bubbly, bubble, bubble, and I love long cooking techniques. First, let's start with a pestata. And the pestata of pancetta, bacon, but if you're a vegetarian, you don't have to use pancetta. You can just go on with the vegetables, and the soup will be good. Some garlic, and let's make the pestata. So you want the pestata to really be like a paste, so to disintegrate and give flavor to your soup. Let's put a little bit of olive oil just on the bottom. Let's render this down while we make the vegetable pestata. These are sage leaves, so let's put that in. Onion, celery, and thyme, lots of thyme. So let's make a pestata out of the vegetables. The aromas, it reminds me a lot of my grandmother. You know, soups, yes, they take a lot of sort of ingredients in the assembling of it. But once they're bubbling away, they're such a venue for so many different things. And then you freeze them, and you have it for weeks to come. So here we are with the vegetable pestata. And you want to give it just a little bit of cooking time, and then we'll build up the soup. And now we use the tomato. These are peeled tomatoes, Summer, squash them, just like that, put them in. This soup takes about 5 quarts of water. I'm gonna go in a minute to the sink. In the meantime, let's assemble all the basic ingredients. Here I have cannellini beans. So you take the dry cannellini beans, fill this up with water. The next day you drain it, so now they're ready to cook. Let's add them all in. This is split peas. I love split peas, I just washed them. And what they will give to the soup is that kind of very mellow, almost velvety texture because they disintegrate into the liquid. So let's put that in. So now let's do some seasoning here. Bay leaves. I love my bay leaves, especially in soups. Peperoncino, salt. The heat, full speed ahead. I'm gonna go get the remainder of the water, and we'll let this cook for a good half hour to 40 minutes before we add the next vegetable. Welcome to my library. Cozy and comfy. Here is where I read your messages, your videos, and I answer. And here I have a video from Caitlin and Jeff. We fell in love with your show the past couple of years and follow your guide to cook while taking classes at Pennsylvania State University. Here's our video question.
Hi Lydia, I'm Caitlin, this is Jeff, and today we're making chicken piccata meatballs.
Do you have any unique takes on traditional meals that you like to make? Tutti a tavola a mangiare.
Oh, I could kiss the screen. Look at them, how adorable. Do I switch traditional recipes? Yes, all the time. One of the classics that I've kind of switched around is bread and zucchini lasagna. Instead of the pasta, I put all bread. I made the sauce, and I layered it with thin zucchini and cheese, just like a lasagna. Give it a try, and keep on cooking. And tutti a tavola a mangiare, bravi! Ah, I told you I'd be bubbling. So we'll lower it a little bit. The peas are kind of disintegrating, and that's what you want. And to this, we will add now the carrots. And again, you know, I want it about the same size so they cook at the same speed. Now, I wanted to show you, to take you through all the steps, but you could do all this preparation before. All right, so let's add this to the bubbling soup. And the Savoy cabbage, the core, and we'll shred it like this. You know, it looks like a lot of vegetables, and there is, but vegetables, once you really let them cook, they lose a lot of volume because of the water. So let's put this in. If you don't have Savoy, could you put regular cabbage? Absolutely. And so now let's do some kale here. This is a little tough, so I'll leave it out. If you have young kale and you want to use the stems, by all means. You know, I also like Swiss chard in soups like that. So here we are. You let this cook for a good half hour. And we'll prepare the squash. Now the squash takes the least amount of time to cook. So let's do some cubes of squash. Just keep in mind that a soup like this, Lidia style, nice and velvety and full of vegetables, and the vegetables are nice and mellow, full of different flavor, takes about 2 hours in total. But at the end of 2 hours, look at the gift that you're getting. So I'll finish this, I'll add it on, and then we will taste it. Okay, another email with a photo. I made a large pot of minestrone. Take a look. And it looks delicious. That's a pot full. You're gonna have here 2 or 3 meals for sure. And when you put it in the freezer, don't forget to mark those containers with what's in them and the date. Enjoy. All right. Look at this pot of goodness. I think I did a good job. You can do it. Let me first taste and see how the seasoning is in here. Salt always tastes like this at the end is when you can, okay, it needs a little salt, a little peperoncino, and even though I have cheese at the table, I'm gonna put some cheese in it now so it really flavors and melts. I think we're ready to serve. 1, 2, okay. Now you know how I always use a little plate so I don't dribble all over the place. And you know, maybe pick up the vegetables first so that you build up and you get enough vegetables. You can always add the liquid part of it. But you still want to be able to recognize all the vegetables. You don't want them to completely be disintegrated. Let's go to the next. Okay. Delicioso. Let me put a little bit for Lidia here. All right. I'll let that cool. That looks pretty good. Nice and steamy. And some good bread. Some good crusty bread, crostini, taralli, which are from Puglia, this delicious little crunchy. And of course some grana, grated grana, but also a few chunks of, so let's say that you want just this for the main course and for the food. You want some chunks of cheese, you grate some cheese, and voila, we go on. Just like that. You see, a good meal and makes you feel good as well. So let's taste this big minestrone. It's delicious. The soup is great. It just kind of warms the soul. You get the beans, then you have the squash, a little sweetness, then you have the kale, a little bit of bitterness, different flavors and textures that makes this soup delicioso.